A cruise ticket that costs $49. A data breach lawsuit filed against the cruise line. A ship that scored 83 out of 100 on its CDC health inspection. And thousands of passengers who booked it anyway because the price looked too good to ignore. These are the 10 cruise lines only dumb people book in 2026. Every person watching this has considered at least one of them. Let's start with the cruise line that charges €60, about $70, if you take food out of the buffet area. Number 10, Costa Cruises. Costa's mandatory service charges, €11 per person per day, are added after the base fare is shown. On a 7-night sailing for 2 people, that is over €150 in charges that appear nowhere in the advertised price. You see one number when you start booking. You see a very different number when you reach checkout. Costa makes sure it appears as late in the booking process as possible, when most people have already committed to the trip. In 2026, Costa introduced a €60 cleaning fee, roughly $70 for any passenger caught taking food outside the dining areas. Not a polite request. A charge added directly to your onboard account. Passengers who carried a plate to the pool deck or back to their cabin were fined. The policy was sent to guests in a notice before sailing. Most people do not read cruise line notices before sailing. Costa is owned by Carnival Corporation, the same parent company behind Carnival, Princess, and Holland America. The Mediterranean routes are genuinely beautiful, but Costa is built primarily for European travelers. American passengers who expect the same service and communication they get on U.S. cruise lines are often disappointed on Costa. The food problems on Costa Toscana in late 2025 showed up consistently across Cruise Critic. Not a one-time issue, but the same complaints from multiple sailings. The €60 food fine is the detail that tells you everything about how Costa thinks about its passengers. It is not a hospitality decision. It is a revenue decision. Number 9, Azamara Cruises. Every ship in the Azamara fleet was built between 1999 and 2000. The newest edition, Azamara Onward, was acquired from Princess Cruises in 2022. Not built new. In 2026, Azamara announced an $80 million renovation program, but the ships themselves remain the same aging hulls. Each ship carries between 684 and 704 passengers, which Azamara markets as an intimate boutique experience. The crew-to-guest ratio is high. Crew members learn your name within the first day. The service feels personal in a way a 5,000-passenger megaship simply cannot match. But here is what the boutique marketing leaves out. Wi-Fi is not included for standard cabins, it costs extra. Spa treatments cost extra. You are paying 2026 prices for a ship built in 1999. As amazing evenings. Exclusive shore events including opera in historic castles and private concerts in Mediterranean amphitheaters are genuinely impressive. They are also not guaranteed on every sailing. Some passengers book specifically for these events and then find out their sailing does not include one. Azamara's overnight port stays are a real differentiator. Most cruise lines pull out of port the same evening. Azamara stays overnight, giving passengers time in destinations after the day trip crowds have gone. That is a genuine advantage. But it does not offset paying premium prices for 26-year-old ships with a Wi-Fi policy that treats basic internet connectivity as a luxury add-on in 2026. Number 8, Cunard Line. The Queen Mary 2. The transatlantic crossing from New York to Southampton. 7 nights. No ports. No stops. 7 consecutive days of open ocean. Cunard markets this as the highest level of ocean travel. Ballroom dancing under chandeliers, white-gloved afternoon tea, tuxedos at dinner. For a specific type of passenger, that description is completely accurate. Cunard divides its passengers into Britannia class and Queen's Grill class. Different dining rooms, different service levels, different access to the ship. You know your category the moment you board, and so does everyone else. From June 2025, Cunard cut complimentary room service for Britannia class passengers, the most commonly booked cabin on the ship. Breakfast before 10 a.m. is still free. Everything after that costs extra. Removing included room service is a meaningful downgrade. Passengers are already spending money on wardrobe before they even arrive at the port. The norovirus outbreak on Queen Mary 2 in early 2025 affected 285 passengers and crew, confirmed by the CDC. The voyage ran from March 8 to April 6. On a ship carrying just over 2,600 guests. That meant more than 1 in 10 people on board were affected. Number 7, Viking Ocean Cruises. No casino, no guests under 18, no loud nightlife. Viking has built its identity around what it removes, and for the right passenger that positioning is genuinely appealing. The ships are Scandinavian. Clean lines, warm wood tones, panoramic windows that bring the ocean into every public space. Every cabin has a veranda. Bathroom floors are heated. The thermal spa includes a real snow grotto. These are real features that passengers consistently confirm. But here is what the cultural immersion marketing does not explain. Viking's port schedules are tight and organized. Free shore excursions are included at every stop, which sounds ideal until you realize that every other passenger on your ship has the same excursion at the same time. The tours are guided and run on a schedule. With only 930 passengers, the ship feels much smaller and more personal than a Royal Caribbean megaship. But 930 passengers doing the same organized tour in a small Mediterranean port is not a quiet personal experience. Viking is genuinely excellent for passengers who want structure, lectures, and calm luxury. The TED-style destination talks, the classical music, the locally inspired menus, all real. But the difference between what Viking promises and what you actually get is bigger than the ads suggest. Number 6. Margaritaville at Sea. The Paradise. Not the brand, the specific ship. The Paradise has been sailing since the early 1990s. That is not a typo. Originally built as Costa Classica, the ship was later sold to Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line and eventually rebranded as Margaritaville at Sea. Paradise in 2022 with a Jimmy Buffett theme, but underneath it is a vessel that was already old before smartphones were invented. In September 2025, passengers filed a class action lawsuit after a data security breach exposed personal information. In 2024, the Paradise scored 83 out of 100 on its CDC health inspection, a failing score by industry standards. The cruise line improved, earning a perfect 100 in early 2026. But a better inspection score does not change the age of the hull, the number of times the ship has changed hands, or the condition of a vessel that has been refurbished on a budget that passengers consistently notice. The $49 ticket is the hook. That number exists to get you through the door. Once you are inside, Wi-Fi is extra. Specialty dining is extra. The base experience on the Paradise is what you would expect from a 30-year-old ship that has been sold multiple times and updated on a limited budget. No water slides. No zip line. Nothing that makes a higher price feel justified. The Islander is a completely different product. Margaritaville's second ship was redesigned before entering service, and passengers consistently report the food quality surprised them. The entertainment was better than expected. The Islander is what this brand is capable of. The Paradise is what most passengers are actually booking when they click on the $49 price, without checking which ship it is. Number 5. Disney Cruise Line. Not the Wish. Not the Treasure. Not the Destiny. Those are modern ships with a product that matches what Disney charges. The Magic launched in 1998. The Wonder in 1999. Both ships have been refurbished. Both ships are maintained to Disney's high standards. And both ships are fundamentally vessels from the 1990s being sold at 2026 prices. The Magic and Wonder are smaller than the newer Disney fleet. They carry fewer passengers and offer far fewer onboard attractions compared to the Wish or Treasure. Disney charges less for them than the newer ships, but still charges significantly more than Carnival, Royal Caribbean, or MSC would charge for a comparable sailing on a ship of the same age. The premium is the Disney name. Disney's solo supplement is 200% of the double occupancy rate. A solo traveler pays for 2 people automatically. No other mainstream cruise line in 2026 applies this policy as consistently across its entire fleet. The adults-only areas on Disney ships, Quiet Cove Pool, Palo and Remy Fine Dining, the Meridian Bar, are real and well-designed. But adults traveling without children on a Disney Magic sailing are still paying for an entertainment infrastructure built almost entirely for families with kids. The character breakfasts, the deck parties, the kids clubs, that cost is spread across every passenger on every sailing, whether they use any of it or not. In early 2026, Disney raised internet prices with no advance notice. The standard package went up $4 per day. The streaming package went up $7 per day. Unlike most cruise lines, Disney Wi-Fi packages cannot be pre-purchased before boarding. You find out the price on the ship when you are already at sea and a family of 4 needs to stay connected. Number 4. Carnival Cruise Line. The multi-device premium Wi-Fi plan costs $90 per day in 2026. For devices, streaming included. On a 7-night sailing, that is $630 for internet alone. Carnival raised these prices in December 2025 with no advance notice to passengers who had already booked. People went into their cruise manager to pre-purchase Wi-Fi at the rate they had seen at booking and found a higher price waiting for them. The guarantee cabin is the specific booking that produces the most post-cruise regret. Carnival offers guarantee cabins, the cheapest option in each category, where Carnival assigns your room instead of you choosing it. In practice, this means you can end up in Deck 6 cabins placed directly above the nightclub and theater on most Carnival ships. Entertainment venues sit on Deck 5. Deck 6 absorbs the bass, music, and crowd noise through the floor until the venues close. On the newer Excel-class ships, the venues move to Deck 7, which moved the noise problem to Deck 8. Cruise forums document this pattern across multiple Carnival ships. It is not a coincidence. It is a direct result of where the cheapest cabins are placed relative to the loudest venues. As of April 2026, Carnival charges $17 per person per day in automatic gratuities for standard cabins. A family of 4 on a 7-night sailing pays $476 in automatic charges before a single drink is ordered or a single meal is purchased outside the included dining. These numbers do not appear in the advertised fare. In early 2026, Carnival's website showed significantly lower prices due to a pricing error during IT maintenance. Passengers booked at those prices. Carnival canceled every one of those bookings and offered onboard credit toward a future sailing. Airlines typically honor pricing errors. Carnival does not. The oldest ships in the Carnival fleet scored 89 out of 100 on CDC health inspections in 2024. Industry standard is 95 or above. Worn linens, plumbing issues, and inconsistent food storage were among the findings. Number 3, MSC cruises. The fare is $85 per day for 2 people. That number is real. MSC puts that number in front of you because it makes every other cruise line look expensive. The fare is real. The experience that fare buys is very different from what most passengers picture when they see it. Bella tier is what most passengers are actually booking when they see $85. Bella means fixed dining times that cannot be changed. Cabin locations assigned by MSC, not chosen by you. Room service costs extra. Bottled water on board costs extra. At tender ports and private island stops, Bella passengers board after Aurea suite guests. By the time Bella passengers reach the beach, the better spots are already taken. MSC's cruise critic ratings sit at 3.3 out of 5, the lowest score among mainstream cruise lines. MSC is the fastest-growing cruise line in the world. Their passenger satisfaction scores are the lowest in the industry. Those two facts are both true at the same time. On May 11, 2026, MSC raised its automatic daily gratuity with less than a month's notice. Standard cabins went from $16 to $17 per person per day. Yacht Club suites went from $20 to $23. MSC's newer ships carry significantly more passengers than the older ships they replaced. But the increase in ship size has not kept pace with the increase in passenger numbers. More people, same space, slower service, longer lines. The Yacht Club is a genuinely different product. Butler service, private restaurant, private pool deck, premium drinks included. But the Bella booking on an older MSC ship is a trap. You enter at $85 and the system is built to take more money from you at every step between booking and getting back off the ship. Number 2, Royal Caribbean. Perfect day at Coco Cay. The name makes it sound like the whole day is included in the cruise fare. The water park requires a separate ticket. The zip line requires a separate ticket. The hideaway beach, the adults-only area of the island, requires a separate entrance fee. A family of 4 spending a full day at Coco Cay can easily add $150 to $200 on top of the cruise fare they already paid. Most first-time Royal Caribbean passengers do not know this. They book the cruise, assume the private island day is part of what they paid for, and find out the real structure when they try to book activities. Royal Caribbean's Wi-Fi, Voom Surf and Stream runs $20 to $40 per day per device depending on the ship. That price is per device, not per cabin. Tier system divides passengers into C-Class, Sky Class, and Star Class. The Royal Genie personal assistant, the included beverage package, and reserved entertainment seating, that is Star Class. Most passengers booking a Royal Caribbean suite are booking C-Class or Sky Class, because those are the prices that appear when you search for suite upgrades. The difference between what the word suite suggests and what C-Class actually includes is where most of the disappointment happens. Royal Caribbean's mobile app uses AI to look at each passenger's demographics, booking history, and real-time behavior on board, then sends personalized recommendations for excursions, specialty dining, and activities. Royal Caribbean's own numbers show that loyalty members who use the app regularly spend 25% more per trip than passengers who do not. The app is not a convenience tool. It is a system built to identify what each passenger is likely to buy and show it to them at exactly the right moment. On Oasis-class ships, the walk from some cabins to the main dining venues is more than a quarter-mile. Passengers who book based on the ship's name without looking at the deck plan sometimes spend a meaningful part of their vacation just getting from one place to another. The Central Park balcony cabins, which are priced as an ocean view, face inward toward the ship's internal neighborhood, not outward toward the water. And finally, the cruise line that built its entire campaign around a single word and made sure that word meant something different in the fine print. Number 1, Norwegian Cruise Line. Free at sea. That is the campaign. Free drinks. Free specialty dining. Free Wi-Fi. Free shore excursions. The word free is in every advertisement Norwegian runs. Here is what free means in Norwegian's pricing structure. Norwegian's free beverage package is not actually free. Guests still pay mandatory beverage package gratuities, often around $28 to $32 per person per day, money they never planned to spend when they saw the word free in the ad. Harvest Cay is Norwegian's private island in Belize. When passengers step off the ship onto that island, the drink packages stop working. Every drink and every meal on Norwegian's own island is charged at full price. Most passengers find this out standing on the beach in front of a menu they were not expecting. Norwegian tried to apply the same policy to Great Stirrup Cay, their second private island. The backlash from passengers was large enough that Norwegian reversed the decision within days. The fact that they tried tells you something about how Norwegian approaches the gap between what they promise and what they charge. The Vibe Beach Club, the adults-only sun deck on Norwegian ships, is not included in your cruise fare. A single-day passes cost up to $99 per person. A full 7-night pass runs $250 to $300 per person. A private cabana for 2 costs $650 to $750 for the entire cruise. This is a section of the ship most passengers assume is just part of what they already paid for. It is not. Standard cabins on Norwegian are among the smallest in the mainstream cruise industry. 120 to 160 square feet on many ships. The best food on board is in the specialty restaurants. Those cost extra. In 2026, Norwegian added a $5 charge for each additional entree in the main dining room. Norwegian stock fell 24% in a single month in early 2026 on missed revenue targets and falling satisfaction scores. The company has 17 new ships on order between now and 2037. Their debt is increasing while competitors are paying theirs down. A cruise line under that kind of financial pressure finds ways to close the gap. On Norwegian, that gap is closed in the space between what the word free promises and what the final bill actually says. 10 cruise lines, 10 specific bookings, one pattern running through all of them. The $49 Margaritaville ticket, the $85 MSC Bella fare, the free at sea package for passengers who drink twice a day, the Disney Magic at Disney Wish prices, the Royal Caribbean C-Class suite with Star-Class expectations. None of these are bad cruise lines. They are specific bookings that fall apart when you look at the actual numbers. Before you book, one question is worth asking. Not what is the price? What does this specific ship, this specific cabin type, and this specific package actually include? And what will I be charged for after I get on board? That one question tells you whether you are making a smart choice or becoming part of someone else's revenue plan. Drop in the comments which cruise line on this list surprised you most. And if you have ever been charged something on a cruise that you never saw coming, name the line and the amount. Because based on what passengers have been saying, you are definitely not alone. Subscribe to Cruise Verdict for more breakdowns like this. Because in this industry, the more you know before you board, the more money you keep in your pocket.